Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about toxic masculinity for a second. If you're like the rest of us, you can't go 5 seconds on TikTok without running into some video involving Andrew Tate. So, I was watching this one today.
What did Tate say? Gladiator! You're not a gladiator!
Hold up, Max, hold up.
When the bear appears, you don't sit there and argue with your chick saying, well, you went to veterinary school, so you're better with bears, so maybe you can tickle the bear.
Yes, you do.
And everyone wants to shit talk this dude. Like, first and foremost, watch the whole video. Watch any video involving him, and this dude goes in on people. And, you know, when I first saw Andrew Tate, I was like, oh, this guy's such an arrogant prick. God, I can't stand listening to this guy. But the more you listen to him and the more you listen to him, and then you watch what's going on around you, and you really use your brain, he says all the shit that we want to say, or most people want to say, and they don't have the nuts to say. I mean, push comes to shove, the reality is the label toxic masculinity is nothing more than weak-minded, weak-willed beta males and feminists telling men that are real fucking men that there's a problem with their level of testosterone and their traditional mindset of wanting to take care of the people around him. And this video, that little clip that I just showed you, watch the whole video, it proves it. You have all these fucking streamers, all these social media guys, all these fucking beta males. There's an old saying, not to get off track, but there's an old saying, tough times make strong men make good times make weak men make bad times or tough times. And we are in that stage now where strong men have made good times for so long that the male population as a greater whole is weak. It's filled with beta males. And they are now progressively making worse and worse times for everyone. And as the video clip that I just showed you pointed out, you have grown-ass beta males, grown-ass men standing, going face-to-face on camera with him, trying to justify sending your female companion into a dangerous situation for feminism or whatever the fuck else. No, he's 100% correct. Andrew Tate is 100% correct. Any fucking man that has a girlfriend or a woman or whatever you want to call them, a wife, and has kids and things of that nature, there's a reason that there's a responsibility that men have. The responsibility, whether you're strong, whether you're weak, the responsibility is to take care of your household and protect your household. Period. End of discussion. So this shit, like the fact that we're even sitting here trying to justify why we should send a female out to go try to engage in this case, he uses a scenario of a bear, but you hear a bump in the night and you're going to send your female out, your female companion, to go check the bump in the night to see? Nah, hell no. Hell no. If you are the type of person that would send your wife, girlfriend, whatever she is to you out there to go investigate for robbers in the middle of the night, you don't deserve a female. You don't deserve to be in that male masculine role. And the problem is we've labeled toxic masculinity as a problem. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There is masculinity, and we have developed a society full of beta males and feminists that have said men being masculine has become toxic. And that's the problem. There is nothing wrong with being a traditional male that looks at women not as property, 100% not as property, but looks at women as something that you should cherish, something that needs to be cherished and taken care of, not because they're incapable of living their lives, not because they're incapable of being strong, independent women, but because men at their core are built, their physical stature is built stronger. It is built to take the abuse. You are there as a man to pick up your family, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, and lift them through whatever trying times you have, whatever danger. And that doesn't mean that men are going around beating their chests and they're running into battle with no fear. Being brave and being tough. You don't have to be a fucking gladiator. You don't have to be a fucking warrior to do your job as a man and stand up and be that barrier between danger and the ones that you care about. You don't have to be. This facade, this bullshit about toxic masculinity. No, You don't have to be fearless. What makes you strong, what makes you tough, is knowing that you could die if you run out there, but it's more important for you to die to protect the people standing behind you from the danger ahead of them. Period. End of discussion. So all these fucking men running around on social media because they want to go with what's in or what's cool or what's going to keep them relevant, it's going to keep them from getting canceled. You are a cancer. You are a cancer to men everywhere. Your beta male, weak-spined, jelly for a fucking spine is what's wrong with this country. You have no backbone. And it doesn't say that everybody has to be in the gym able to lift 450 pounds with a pinky finger. You don't have to be fucking badass everywhere you go. But you have to be willing to be masculine. You have to take that leadership role in your household. That doesn't mean that you're my wife in our household. My wife and I, we are fucking partners. But push comes to shove. There are things that she's better at than I am, and there are things that I am better at than her. And we lean on each other, and we push each other forward into those strengths. And one of the strengths that I carry in my household is if there is a problem, if there is a danger, I am going to take care of that problem, and I am going to end that problem before it gets to her and before it gets to our children. And to his point, as a man, you have to have a certain authority over the people in your household. It doesn't mean total authority. It doesn't mean they're your slave. It doesn't mean that they're your property. You have to have a certain level of authority because you cannot be that person that is going to charge into danger and then your people behind you, your family, your wife, your kids, they're not going to listen to you. You have to have that certain level of authority, especially when things go sideways and things get hairy. Because I'll tell you right now, if there was a bump in the night and I fucking told my wife, don't move, stay here, guess what? She's not going to go, no, I'm a feminist, hear me roar. No, she's going to go, gotcha, I'm going to keep my ass right here, and you go run out there with your gun, your knife, your bat, whatever you got to go face those intruders. I shouldn't say that. Gun is the answer. So you have to maintain that certain level of authority because push comes to shove. My wife and I are equals. We're 50-50 partners in our relationship. But when it comes to matters of defending the home and defending the household and everybody's safety, there's no discussion. There's no discussion. If I make a judgment call, especially with my experience as a cop, if I make a judgment call and I go, no, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, we're not going to allow that because of the dangers that it could present, she doesn't question it. Not because she's weak, not because she's my subservient, because she knows that it's my job to keep everybody safe and keep everybody out of harm's way. And she doesn't question it, flat out, 100% of the time. And it doesn't make her weak. It doesn't make her a weak woman. It doesn't make her property. It shows that we have very clear and distinct roles in our relationship. And my role is that fucking gladiator that goes in and protects the family. Period. End of discussion. And it doesn't make her weak. Makes her smart. It makes us a fucking team. She has plenty that she's better at than me, and I've got plenty that I'm better at than her. And the problem is we have this fucking new norm in society where if a man stands up and says, no, I'm in charge. How dare you? Women are not property. Women have this. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Women have rights. No fucking shit. And then we have beta males jumping up and going, how dare you? How dare you? Sit down, soy boy. Sit your ass down. The grown-ups are fucking talking. Flat out. You don't get to go, and this is the problem, and this is what I love about social media. Social media is great. Social media has made tons of things more accessible and better for everybody. Social media has also allowed weak-spined, weak-willed, unintelligent people to stand up and have opinions that they're uneducated on without ever going back and trying to educate themselves. If someone tells you, if someone ever uses the term toxic masculinity in any way other than mockingly or disparagingly to try and shit all over the term, if they use it in any way as a defense or as a talking point, just cut them out of your life. Just get them gone. You do not need that bullshit in your life. Period. End of discussion. We need to take this toxic masculinity bullshit, flip it on its head, and it needs to stop being a fucking thing. Flat out. So every single one of you out there that I'm talking about in the negative light, it's time to man the fuck up. It's time to get the testosterone checked and start putting it through the fucking roof and start being the defender that you're supposed to be. Be a fucking man.